Finally, I'm here.
Hello.
Is it audible now? All this time was it audible? Now everybody is hearing me?
Yes.
Okay. Before the Shanti mantra and what I talked till now, was it audible? Good. Good. Okay, so I will start again from the beginning. I think I had muted my microphone by mistake. Now it's all clear? I think I can start, no? Marianne's is not
Yes.
hide from broadcast. Good. We start now. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryan Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, welcome to our Satsang that we have starting today. I was thinking of starting the text Dakshinamurti Stotram. Dakshinamurti Stotram was composed by the Adi Shankaracharya and it contains the essence of all Vedantic teachings. But before starting that, I thought I will take up the phrase from Viveka chudamani that is Manushyatvam, Mukshutvam, Mahapurusha Shamshrayah. These are the three great divine blessings. The status of being born as a human being is a blessing. Arriving at the maturity with which I am looking for moksha, that is liberation from all sense of limitation, looking for the eternal, desire for the time, eternal, the limitless, timeless, freedom from the time bound, freedom from the transient. Yes. So this is called mumukshutvam, desire for liberation, burning desire for liberation. We know mumukshutvam is one of the four-fold qualifications for studying Vedanta. Which is viveka, vairagya, mumukshutvam, samadhi, shakti, sampatti. Discrimination, dispassion, desire for liberation, and the sixfold inner wealth. So, in this phrase of Viveka Chudamani can serve as a very good prelude as suggested by our Acharya, Dravidacharya, Sri Ramakrishnan ji. So, he suggested this phrase to start our series of satsangs. So, I am starting with this. The three words used are Manushyatvam, the gift of human birth, the maturity to seek for liberation, Mukshutvam, third, the opportunity to come under the refuge and the guidance of the qualified teacher who knows the truth, who lives the truth, able to impart the knowledge while he or she is committed to the knowledge oneself. So these three things one cannot get only by one's own effort. There is a lot of grace involved in having these three human birth, desire for liberation, and coming under the guidance of the right teacher, the guru, the teacher who is going to impart the knowledge, which is moksha. This is what I wanted to discuss. And after a few minutes, we can open the floor for question answers and general discussion. Also, we can discuss about your personal practice and the practical difficulties you face or anything else that might be relevant for you now. Now, among the three divine blessings, the first one, The first word, viveka chudamani, starts like this. The first verse of, I put Marianne on mute. The first verse of Viveka Chudamani is Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham Atah Pumsum Tato Vipata. That is, among all the births, human birth is the rarest. So this, it starts like that. Now, if we understand, if you remember Tattva Bodha, we discussed Tattva Bodha. From Tattva Bodha, if you remember, what is the physical body? There is a question. Sthula Shariram Kim, what is the physical body? It is born of the 5 elements after the process of Panchikritam, after the differentiation, the 5-fold differentiation of the 5 elements, combined with the tamas aspect of nature, gives the physical body. And this body is the result of all the good karma done in the past. It comes in Tattva Bodha. So, to get a human birth is on earth alone. On earth alone, it is 1 in 84 lakh, that is 8.4 million. 1 is to 8.4 million is the possibility to get a human birth. There are so many other species in which you can take birth. According to Shastra, they say there are 88.4 million species. So based on that I am saying. And among all the lokas, all the different dimensions that we can be born in, we have taken birth on earth and then a human birth. Now, why the human birth is considered very good? You may think, no, if I was born as a Great Dane in a very wealthy and taken by a very wealthy owner, I am going to be fed nicely and I am going to lounge around the house. I am going to enjoy my life. Why should I be born as a human with all these responsibilities and then this having to do this sadhana and all this trouble of moksha and all this trouble of trying to get a meaning out of life and all these things. Why this trouble? Or I could have been in heaven where I can just enjoy. So nobody wishes to be in hell. Everybody wants to be in heaven. Or at least some comfortable life. The reason why our human birth is considered as very, very precious is because only as a human being we have choice over action. I can do something, I need not do that, I can do something else. Which means I have the ability to pursue a Purushartha. Purushartha means I have the ability to consciously choose a goal. Or I have the ability to lose myself into all kinds of programming and goals set by others and all kinds of manipulation. We used to discuss that a human being, because has a choice over action, and this is one faculty that is unique to the human being, is you have a choice over action. You are not programmed. You can decide, even though you may want to do something, you may use your buddhi and decide, I will not do this. We have not only the freedom to act, we also have the freedom not to act. We have the freedom to choose the right course of action over the wrong course of action. We have the discernment to understand what is the most appropriate course of action. What is a more meaningful goal? Is anybody talking? What is a more meaningful goal? We have this choice. There is another faculty also we have. We have the ability to interpret experience into a personal meaning. Suppose I take bath in a hot spring. You know, you have these hot springs in Romania. It's a nice hot spring. We have one near Ganga also. It's called Ganganani. We have a hot spring. It's very soothing. So you take bath in a hot spring. It's very soothing. It's very nice experience. So you are enjoying. A dog also takes bath in a hot spring. The dog is also enjoying. It's very comfortable. You can see the dog enjoying a lot. What is the difference between a dog enjoying the hot spring and a human enjoying the hot spring? After the enjoyment, the human creates this idea, I had a nice time. I wish to come here again. And he is able to plan to come there again. And then to see how the person feels with that or without that, then to analyze the experience. He has the ability to say, think, is this hot spring experience, enjoying this, is it making me lose my discrimination, or is it going to help me in my sadhana? All this we can think. The dog doesn't think all that, it just experiences. It does not derive a meaning from experience. It does not analyze the experiences and converts the analysis of experience into conscious knowledge. It converts it into mechanical functional knowledge. That it knows that the dog knows that this hot spring is a nice experience. That's all it knows. So every time it comes near that, it wags its tail and it gets very excited and jumps around and turns around and then wants to jump into the hot spring and have a nice bath. Right? Similarly, if you pour cold water on the dog, it knows it is not a pleasant experience, and the moment you are preparing for the bath, the dog runs all around the place. It doesn't want to come for the bath. This much it is able to interpret as a pleasant experience and unpleasant experience, but it is not able to derive a personal meaning from experience. Bhoktrutvam, I am the enjoyer idea, and all the self-concept that is woven around this I am the enjoyer idea. Kartrutvam, that is choice over action, discernment over the right course of action. Kartrutvam, the ability to be a conscious doer who pursues the goal, the purushartha. Bhoktrutvam, the ability to understand oneself as an enjoyer. Self-definition of oneself as the enjoyer, self-definition of oneself as the doer. These two are possible for the human being. So based on these two definitions, one creates a sense of self based on that. Based on the bhokta and the karta, one creates a sense of self. If I am able to have a successful, pleasant, reasonably comfortable holiday with my family in this summer, I consider myself as successful. If I am not able to materialize this holiday in September or August when everybody is going for a holiday, I am not able to get a nice resort by the beach somewhere, I don't have the money or whatever, or I don't have the right partner, I consider myself as a failure. I'm talking in a very normal, common man level, okay? You all may not have such self-definition. You may have some other self-definitions. So just a small example.
Da, sunt deja online acum. Da.
Who is talking? Alex.
Silviu, cred că se aude.
Okay. So, this self-definition created by the idea of myself as the enjoyer, what it does is, it can make me a better human or a worse human. So unless, see, this enjoyer, this definition of me as the enjoyer is the driving force, the engine behind the definition of me as the doer. So the self definition combines doer and enjoyer. And if this self definition, this doership and enjoyership, if it is not regulated by the law of dharma, some kind of conscious knowledge, the person can overdo something or not do what needs to be done, can enter into the realm of omissions and commissions. What should not be done, you might end up doing. What you should do, you may not do. What you should do up to a point, you may do beyond a certain point. So these kind of problems comes because the self-definition of doership and enjoyership takes over. So beyond a point, beyond a certain level of control, when you lose control, when these definitions take over a person, without the channeling of dharma, one can become demonic. One can start behaving and living in a way to destroy oneself. On the other hand, one can also acquire the knowledge of what is good for oneself in the long run, and based on what is good for oneself in the long run, which is called Shreyas. Shreyas means what is good for me in the long run. Preyas means what is good for me immediately, what is pleasing. So based on this knowledge of Shreyas and Preyas, one can choose Shreyas, what is good for me in the long run. I am inviting Sylvie. I don't know how to invite Sylvie. I clicked it, it went somewhere. I hope this to be recorded in YouTube, okay? So if somebody misses, they can watch later. Okay, I am continuing. So don't get me into this technical stuff. Somebody else can do this. I don't know if only I can invite or what. I don't understand this. I sent the invite, but I don't know how it works. If I do more technical, I will lose my flow. Faratiklu. See, in Google Hangout, you cannot see from a Yahoo account. You have to see from a Google account. You need a Google account to join a Google Hangout, as far as I know. Am I correct? Adrian, techie guys, please tell me. Okay. Good. Where was I? The self-definition. So, a human birth is considered as very, very precious and priceless for the sake of moksha. For the purpose of moksha. Why the human birth is considered as rare is because I can redefine myself. I have, just like how I have the choice to do action, I can extend it as I can have a choice to choose what is immediately good and may not be good in the long run, and what is may be difficult in the short run but may be extremely good in the long run. So I have the choice to choose Shreyas over Preyas. So that makes my human birth precious. No other species in this universe can do this other than the beings who are already in the level called Brahmaloka. So Manush Bhuloka, that is the dimension of earth and the birth of a human being, and the dimension of Brahmaloka. So among all the species that we know and we recognize, Human birth alone can make this possible. That makes the human birth very, very valuable. So this long-term good is what, so now we know that this is not simply fixed to one birth. Why this human birth becomes very important? Because of what is happening before the birth and what is going to happen after the death. Life is a continuum. We should never forget that. The Pramanam Shastra, the Veda as Pramana has very clearly said, and also we see in Bhagavad Gita that the soul leaves the body with the prana and the indriyas and the mind and the impressions that it has created and enters the new body. Like how the wind carries the smell from the flowers and goes. Now, between what is immediately good and what is good in the long term, between preyas and shreyas, the highest good is considered moksha. Moksha is described as the highest of all shreyas. Where Arjuna asks, when Arjuna asks Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Lord, tell me what is the shreyas for me. Show me what is the shreyas. I want what is shreyas. So here the shreyas is to be interpreted as moksha. Show me the way to moksha, to the ultimate good. Ultimate good is that which cannot be, ultimate good is that which cannot be negated. The ultimate good is that which one cannot lose. If I attain something that is good in the long run, we consider it is better than what is good in the short run. Suppose we attain what is eternally good, what is timelessly good, what is valid forever. So that should be the highest of all the good. Because if I am going to choose between taste and health, health is a longer lived happiness. But when I compare health to moksha, moksha is eternal. Now, being eternal, it cannot be a start. There cannot be a starting point in time. So it is not achieved in time, and all that, it is attainment of what is already attained. We have discussed enough of this. So human birth gives you this choice. It is in human birth alone where you are able to pursue what is eternally good, which is moksha. So the human birth becomes extremely precious. Mumukshutvam. In fact, the grace of human birth is fulfilled when you have enough grace that has awakened the desire of liberation in you. See, we cannot say the purpose of human birth is liberation. It's a dangerous statement. We cannot say liberation is the purpose of human birth. We can probably say liberation is the highest purpose a human birth can achieve. Because when I say liberation is the purpose of human birth, I am imposing liberation on those who don't understand. If you have understood liberation, if you are able to appreciate liberation, consider yourself as blessed, because liberation is the highest pursuit that a human can achieve or attain. Here the liberation being Jivan Mukti, or the liberation while we are alive. Okay. So Manushyattvam, the fact of being born as a human is a great gift. Mumukshutvam, the desire for liberation awakening in one's heart. Then comes the third. The Mumukshutvam is fulfilled by this third thing. Manushyatvam becomes fulfilled in Mumukshutvam. Human birth is fulfilled when the desire for has done its purpose. The human birth has done its job if the desire for liberation has awakened. The desire for liberation has matured and is actualized if the third factor is present. Mahapurusha Samshrayaha. The guidance of a great soul. Why it is called a great soul, Mahapurusha, a great person? Why? Because the person has realized what is the greatest of all knowledge or the greatest of all achievements, which is the knowledge of oneself as the totality. Because of that, and why the person is a great person, Mahapurusha, because even though the realization of the truth has shown that there is nobody other than the self, there is nobody to be liberated. When the student comes with a question, please, no, master, show me the way to liberation. He doesn't laugh and say, hey, you are already liberated. But he says, yes, I will show the way. He assumes, he empathizes with the problem of ignorance and is able to teach and impart the knowledge and is able to remove the ignorance about the self and to facilitate the realization of the true nature of the self in the person who comes and becomes a student. So that makes this person a great soul, and it is done looking for nothing in return, because this person doesn't need anything. This person is not going and looking for creating a student. He is not going around and looking for some personal achievements, because the person has nothing to achieve. The person who is the Shrotriya Brahmanishta, the one who is committed to the knowledge of the self and who is also able to impart the knowledge of the self because of having listened to his or her own teacher and having a grasp over the traditional way of teaching, this person is able to impart the knowledge also, apart from realizing it oneself. Now, because of being absolutely free from any kind of personal need, still the person makes oneself available. So the person is considered to be very compassionate. Ahetuka kripa sindho, they say, the ocean of unconditional and uncaused kindness. That is how the gurus are. The guru is generally represented. The same is also referred to the Lord, Ishvara. Why? Because if we watch ourselves, generally in our everyday life, we do something only if there is a benefit. And we try to get rid of something when the thing turns unpleasant. But the person who takes the commitment of teaching or who accepts a disciple and who is able to reach out to the disciple and impart the self-knowledge looks nothing in return, because he doesn't need anything. Still he makes himself or herself available and commits to the process and goes through the stage with the student and goes through the whole thing and then tries to take the person by hand to the truth. So it is not easy. So Mahapurusha Samstaya. This Mahapurusha, why it is called Mahapurusha is because of these reasons the Guru is called as Mahapurusha. So these three things are a divine blessing alone. Devanugraha hetukam. These three factors of human birth, the desire for liberation, and to be able to come under the guidance of a teacher who is capable of imparting self-knowledge. These three things are caused by divine grace or blessing, divine blessing. Now, what is this divine blessing? For every endeavor to become a success, we need three factors to cooperate. Adi Bhautika. The circumstances have to cooperate. Now, if we need to have this chat going on, this hangout going on, we need the Indian Electricity Department to cooperate. Just a few minutes back at 7 o'clock, there was no power. And we are always waiting for the power to go. Almost every house has a battery backup in their house. Because power goes as and when, God knows, as and when who pleases. It goes and comes in 5 minutes, and then suddenly goes and comes in 5 hours. You never know. So you need Adi Bhautika. The factors around us should cooperate. Adhyatmika. I should cooperate myself. I should be available for what I want to do, what I want to pursue, what I want to attain. And Adi Daivika. The divine factor has to cooperate. There should not be earthquake and natural calamities, etc. We say. Why the divine? Because the entire universal process, the physical universe is sustained by different functionalities of consciousness. The different physical laws are kept together by the different departments in consciousness. These are all called devata. And also the punya, the result of good actions performed in one life, fructifies in the next life or some other life because of the divine order that delivers the result of karma done in one life. It delivers the result in some other life. It is called adrishtam. This is where the entire shastra comes into picture. We need to have shraddha or faith in the shastra regarding adrishtam. When we do some good actions in this life, it carries forward to the next life or some other life. When we do bad actions in this life, it carries forward the negative result to the next life or some other life. So this result of karma, it's like it has this account number of your ego structure. So it is connected. It's like address in your hard drive. In this universal matrix of information, your address is kept in that bundle of karma. Sanchita karma, it goes into the Sanchita karma pocket and then comes back and then as agamya karma and then becomes the prarabdha karma for the next life. So when every time we take a birth, the moment you take a birth, this birth is caused by a certain packet of karma called prarabdha karma. So this karma packet decides the pains and pleasures and the sorrows and the joys and all the experience and the major experiences of life are decided by this prarabdha karma. So this mechanism that delivers the result of karma from the previous life in this life is a functionality of Ishvara. It is caused by Ishvara's intelligence. So it is also an anugraham. It is a kind of anugraham. See, imagine I did a lot of good karma and it all, nothing comes back to me. It all just goes. If it is like I have only one life and then it is all completely random, then there is no point in pursuing virtue. For what use should I pursue virtue? You may say it is for helping others and all that. So why should I help others? If by helping others I am not going to get anything, why should I help others? There is a satisfaction, you may say. When I help others, there is a satisfaction. Good. But not everybody is satisfied. There are people who understand that this brings punya. They have a very tamasic heart and they are not able to appreciate charity. They are a very grabbing nature. So these people with highly grabbing nature, they have an opportunity. Whether they like it or not, they can do charity. They can reach out to people in need. They can develop a larger heart and purify their heart. And this effect of these charities is going to help them to be born with a much purer mind and a much larger heart, which makes them to pursue even more dharma in the next life. So this is a wonderful mechanism. It is a sign, it's a grace. It's a complete grace that makes it possible for result of one life to come and manifest in the next life. That is why this basically means these three factors of human birth, desire for liberation, and the company of a wise sage or a teacher who is able to impart the knowledge, coming under the guidance of a teacher. These three things are the result of all the karmas that you have done in your past lives. That is what is to be understood. Daivanugraha hetukam means it's not that suddenly God decides, okay, this person I like is, somehow I like this person, so I will give him mukshutvam. I will do some few mantras and I will give this person the right teacher. It's not like that. You should have already worked for it in the past life. Or to some extent, like for example, you can do some practices which will give the result in this life also. There are practices and there are mantras and prayers which can help a person to get the right teacher. So there are these anushtanams, what is called. I can keep a sankalpa and do regular puja of Dakshinamurti to ask him to give me the right teacher. If I don't know, so if I don't find the right teacher, I can go to a priest and then get this puja and this anushtanam. I can do this, and over a period of time when I do this anushtanam, when I am karmically ready with all the other factors of karma, see, this prayer doesn't go waste. It does its job, but it also needs other factors to come into the situation in order to manifest what we are asking for. Prayer is only one of the factors. Prayer is not the only factor. But definitely prayer has a huge advantage. It can bring in a huge advantage and the situation in your favor and make things work in a much smoother and better manner, in a faster manner. That is true. But that alone, because I prayed immediately, I cannot expect the thing to happen. One person prays, what they prayed for happens in a month. Another person does the same prayer, what they prayed for happens in one day. For another person, it happens in many years. For another person, it may happen only in the next life. We don't know. Gagana karmano gatihi. The way of karma is like the wind. I cannot understand it. I cannot understand it, like how exactly it moves. What factor is causing what result? I cannot understand. Exactly. I cannot map it linearly, like how I say, I throw this stone goes and hits there. This is law of karma. No. That is one aspect of law of karma, which is called drishta palam, visible result. Adrishtam means the invisible result. Every karma that I do, every conscious action that I do with the sense of doership creates a visible result probably, and definitely it creates a invisible result. It is this invisible result of good karmas that is accumulated over a lot of lives, plus some initiatives that are required to invoke this good karma. See, I invoke this good karma with some initiatives and intentions in this life, and then that good karma kicks in and then gives me this desire for liberation and the guidance of a qualified teacher. So these three things, Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusham Shvaya, is Devanugraha Hetukam. It is caused by the divine grace alone. So, what? It is caused by divine grace alone. So, what do you want me to do? I will give you an example. Let us say you have invested in a house. You have bought a house, you have spent some 50,000 euros or 60,000 euros. Your savings for 10 years, 15 years, plus a bank loan and all that. And a point comes where you cannot enjoy the house, or you have to give the house away, or where you have to decide, make some hard decisions. It becomes very difficult. It's like your dream house. Then when you go there, you start seeing that that place is very impractical. I cannot live there. You did it with a lot of dream and plan, and then you cannot live there, and you have to leave it. You have to go somewhere else. You are not able to rent that house. Sometimes when this situation comes, we tend to think, I invested so much in this house. How can I leave it? Let me try to stay in the house and let me try to make things work. Same thing we do with the relationship. We spend like 5 years or 6 years in a relationship. It's not working out and it is destructive for me. I invested so much in this relationship. I don't want to let it go. You buy a nice dress. It becomes a little tight. You are not able to wear it. Then you try to slim down and make sure that you can wear this dress for a nice party because you have invested so much in that. So when we look at our life, there are so many things we do because we have invested our time and energy and our effort. Once again, yeah. Because we have invested some time and effort and energy and some resources in something, we want to somehow put more effort and more resources and try to make it work. We don't want to let go of it, right? We don't want it to go waste. We use it for a lot of things. Even in India, even today, my mother has a problem of, if you cook a little more food, the food is going waste. There's only one more dosa left. Why don't you eat this dosa and finish it? It's going to go waste. It's a habit in India. A lot of people end up overeating because they don't want to waste the food and they want to finish it. But they don't understand, throwing it for a dog or a cow is much less of a loss than dumping it in my stomach and overeating. It makes me lose a health which is more important than that food. But because I have invested something and I have already made it, I don't want it to go waste. So we have this. But each person has their own domain of sentiment. Like some people, it might be a relationship which is very difficult because they have invested, they can't leave it. Depending on your habituation, there are things that you consider as precious because you have put a certain effort and acquired it. Even for normal everyday things, we have this attitude. Imagine you have built a house over 600 years you have spent, 600 years, 700 years you have spent with so many bodies, with so much of effort, going through so much of pain and pleasure and all kinds of experiences. You have built this house called this human body. You have got this after the good karmas accumulated over so many lives. Look at the level of resources you have spent to get this human body. And so many well-lived human lives, so many human lives which you have lived well, combined with a lot of prayers and other spiritual activities that have given you some grace, this state of mind which is able to appreciate moksha has come about. I'm just checking the time. So this state of mind which is able to appreciate moksha has come about. Look at the level of investment that has gone inside just getting this human body. Then, having lived many well-lived, thoughtful human lives, one is able to get this desire for liberation. Now, the investment becomes even more precious. Many lives of desiring moksha in a haphazard way, sometimes in a systematic way, sometimes with dedication, sometimes without dedication, like that, going through many lives of desiring for moksha, one is able to master, or one is able to muster the enough punyam required for coming under the guidance of proper teaching. So the investment is, you see, this is completely priceless. It's a completely priceless situation. It's a priceless gift. The human birth, desire for liberation, and coming under the guidance of a teacher who is capable of imparting self-knowledge. If you see, or if we recognize the amount of investment that has gone into it, the sense of importance we will give for this will be completely something else. We are not really realizing the importance of these three factors, and that is why we don't give enough time to think about it, to contemplate on how important it is. That is why this is not able to take priority over survival. It's not able to take priority over everyday chores. It is not able to take priority over entertainment. It is not able to take priority over going for some birthday parties and going for some other social commitments. This moksha is not taking priority over maintaining a nice social face. All these things become more important because I don't see how precious these three things are. Somehow my rush with other things is clouding my knowledge regarding how precious these three things are. So two things we can do simultaneously in order to precipitate that sense of importance that these three factors deserve. So all of you have all these three factors. You may not consider me as Mahapurusha, but at least I will be able to guide you in the path which can show you a Mahapurusha, which can show you somebody whom you might recognize as a Mahapurusha. Right? Now, I'll tell you a story. This is a real story from the life of Sri Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram, who attained Samadhi in 1994, 93-94. Mahaswami's story really happened. In let us say in 1950s or 60s, this Swamiji has gone to some village for camping. They go as parivrajaka. They go on a yatra, on a kind of a pilgrimage with their entourage and everything. So there was a village. There were some hills and all that, and there was a small village there. So he decided to camp there and do puja. Now for the Chandramaulishwara is a certain manifestation of Lord Shiva, which is worshipped in the Shankaracharya ashrams, in the mutts. So for the Chandramaulishwara puja, they needed a leaf called the bilva leaf. It will be like this. It will be like 3 leaves together. It's called the bilva leaf. It's very, very auspicious to worship Lord Shiva in a Shivalinga. To worship a Shivalinga with a bilva leaf is very, very auspicious. And they used bilva leaf. So where to go for bilva? They were all worrying because there was no bilva leaf was not available there. Shankaracharya was thinking, so some bilva leaf is there for puja, will be good. I don't know where to go for bilva leaf. Like that, the talk was going on. Next day, in the morning, early morning, around 7 o'clock, before the puja and all that starts, they found a basket full of freshly plucked aromatic bilva leaves. Camp was going on for 1 week or 10 days or something like that, and every day morning there was a basket full of freshly plucked bilva leaves. Who is keeping this? And then watching this for 3-4 days, one of the main attendants of the Swami, he was hiding behind a pillar and watching who is coming and keeping this bilva leaves, not bringing it inside but keeping it outside so that somebody can take it. They saw a shepherd boy who has become a young man now, a young shepherd. He brings this and keeps there very quietly and makes sure that nobody sees him, keeps it quietly and runs away. So when he keeps that, the next day when he came, this priest, this person, the attendant of Swamiji, one of the administrators, he caught him. Hey, stop him. Swamiji is calling you inside. This fellow got scared. Because he's a Shudra, he thought, because of village, he thought, maybe I'm not allowed, I should not go inside. If I pluck the leaves, if they know that I plucked the leaves, they may not take the leaves for puja. All this is his imagination of not understanding the Varna system properly. He's an illiterate fellow. So he thought maybe I should not go there and all, it's a very holy place and things like this. So he was not going there. I'm a shepherd, I don't have any pure lifestyle. So he had this idea. So the Swami called him inside. They took him. Actually, according to Varna Dharma, it is not that the Shudra should not come. It is wrong. The way they practice nowadays is wrong. So because of this fellow had got a wrong knowledge. So in the Shankara Mutt, they practice the correct form of Varna system, and where they can be allowed, they are allowed. Where they are not to be allowed, they are not allowed. Like that. It's very technical. So this person took him inside. He was scared. He said, sorry. I kept it outside and ran away because I overheard the conversation that bilva leaves are needed for the puja. So I found this. I know this tree in the near the hills. So I go and pluck there and came. And I'm sorry if I have done a mistake. Please forgive me. So he was scared. Then he said, no, hey, stupid fellow, you have done a great service. Acharya is very, very happy, and he wanted to see who has brought this bilva leaf. And this fellow was brought to Acharya, and he asked him very nicely, hey, what is your name? What is your father? How did you know that you should bring bilva leaves for the puja and all that? Then he told the story. Swami, when I was a small boy, see, I lost my father. I don't have my father, mother. I'm an orphan. I just take care of the cattle in this village, and then the village people take care of me. When I was a small boy, my father used to take me with him for grazing and near the hills and for walk, and he used to tell me a lot of stories from our tradition. He used to tell me Ramayana, Mahabharata, things like this. And during one of the conversations, when we were taking a walk near the hill, he showed me this tree and said, hey, watch, this is called bilva tree. It is a very, very holy tree, and the leaves are very useful for Shiva Puja. He has told me like that, and from that time onwards, I had noted this in my mind. This was like 10-15 years before Acharya saw him. And then he also used to take, something else. I will come to that. So he has told me that, and I overheard your conversation, and then I remembered you all could not find the bilva tree, and I know exactly where it is. So I ran in the morning. I will go at 5 o'clock and pluck the leaves, and then come running and keep the basket here and go. So Acharya was so impressed. Oh, what a great service you have done. I am so impressed. that once your father had told some other time, you remembered that and have enough care to pluck the leaves and bring for puja. So ask something, ask whatever you want. You have any wish, please ask. And this boy, this illiterate shepherd boy, he's asking, Swami, I want moksha. The Acharya and everybody around was surprised. You have these highly educated Brahmins who are, who have studied the Veda and everything. They come and ask, Swami, I want my daughter to get married. Swami, I want to get more money. I want a better referral. Can you give me a referral so that I will get a better job? All these kind of things. Can you refer me to that big temple there where I will get more dakshina? Dakshina means donation. So all these kinds of requests. Amidst all these so-called highly educated Brahmins, this Shudra comes and asks Swamiji, I don't want anything. If at all you want to give me something, give me moksha. Bless me that I will get moksha. Swamiji was overjoyed, and then he said, yes, but tell me, how did you get this idea of moksha? How did you get it? He said, I don't know all this. I don't know what this moksha means also. But my father used to tell, when you meet great Swamijis and Mahatmas, when you meet great saintly people, don't ask for little things. If you can ask them for something, ask them only for moksha. He used to tell me. So this boy remembered this, and some good karma in some life he has done. He came in front of this Kanchi Shankaracharya Mahaswami, and he asked the right person for moksha. And this person said, don't worry, I will take care of it. Don't worry, you will get moksha. And he blessed him for that. And then he said, he sent him away. He said, anything else you want? He said, nothing. I don't want anything. I am comfortable. Just if you bless me for moksha is enough. And then he went. Then Swamiji called the village head. He said, keep an eye on this boy. Send me information about him from time to time. How he is. Keep me informed. And after all the days are over, Swamiji left the village, and life was going on for this boy. After some 20 or 25 years after that, one day a telegram comes to the Kanchi Mutt. But 1 hour before, this Swamiji was missing. Telegram takes like a few minutes to come. 1 hour before, this Swamiji was missing. Where is he? Where is he? Then they saw him in a temple pond, the Kamakshi temple pond or some other pond. He was taking a bath, coming out, then doing some japa, going and taking bath, coming out, doing some japa. Like that he was doing some 4 times. And then he wiped his body and came back. And then they showed him the telegram. Swamiji, telegram. I know. That shepherd boy has passed away. The telegram, when he has passed away there, Swamiji knew it here. And he did not even wait for the telegram. He said, I know, he has passed away. He has 4 more lives to go. So I did japa to make sure that in all these 4 lives, he is guided in the path of moksha and he is taken care. To make sure that his 4 lives are smooth, I have done snanam and karma for all his 4 lives. He has 4 more lives to go, and after that he will attain moksha. This Kanchi Mahaswami told. This is an anecdote from his life. This is what Mahapurusha Samshraya. So I may not be like this Swamiji, this much of Mahapurusha. At least this boy did not get this Swamiji first, but he listened to whatever he got. He got only his shepherd father who could tell him the right thing at the right time. In the impressionable age, this shepherd father was able to tell him, if you meet a great person, don't ask for anything else, but ask for moksha. So I am trying to invite Silvio. Once again. You do not hear alumni, sir. What everybody hears. Okay, okay. I put Gmail, it's not coming. Okay, I will continue with the discussion. Okay. So, if you see the odds by which this shepherd boy, so this explains a lot of things, you know. So like this, we don't know what is going to lead to what. This little boy was able to take this advice of his father seriously, and somehow with God's grace, this advice kicked in at the right time when he met this Swamiji. This advice of his father kicked in. This is called grace. He remembered the right thing at the right time, which was able to catapult him in his journey towards moksha. So this is called Devanugraha Hetukam. It is all by divine grace. So having come this far and having understood the so many invisible factors in our spiritual past, in our spiritual present, and in our spiritual future, if you really understand the importance of it all, we would not take it lightly, and we would invest more time and more energy and more priority for our pursuit of the freedom that is our own nature, right? So this is called this is the fundamental. Dakshinamurti is an avatar of Lord Shiva, who was considered as the first teacher, where he imparts self-knowledge through a symbol of Chin Mudra to the four sages, and he teaches through silence. And this Dakshinamurti is usually invoked for the purpose of getting the grace that is required for moksha. So, Lord Dakshinamurti is the power of God that bestows the grace that leads to liberation. Lord Dakshinamurti symbolizes the power of God called Sadashiva, the aspect of God that bestows the grace required for liberation. The Lord has 5 jobs: creation, sustenance, destruction, veiling, and liberation. So the job of liberation is done by Sadashiva Tattvam, and this representation of Sadashiva is Lord Dakshinamurti. And Sri Adi Shankaracharya has composed the stotram called Dakshinamurti Stotram, which contains the essence of the entire Advaita. And this Dakshinamurti Stotram we will start discussing shloka by shloka, starting from the next satsang onwards. So now that I have discussed the importance of this human birth, the desire for liberation, and coming under the guidance of a qualified teacher who is able to impart the self-knowledge or show the way towards self-knowledge or show the way towards moksha. So let us give more importance to this and see how we can make ourselves more available for the purpose of liberation and for the purpose of teaching, for ourselves and for others. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. You can ask some questions. Now I will unmute everybody. Whoever I have muted, I will unmute them. Whoever has muted yourself, please unmute yourself. Since Ada is there, I don't need to add Marianne. I think Marianne is also here. Ada is busted. She was eating during the session. Yes, I can see. Ada has special permissions. What to do? In the name of mother, daughter, and the horrible hunger, Ada is eating. Okay. Questions? No problem. Pafta bhuna. Questions? May you eat this also? There is a saying in Tamil. வயிற்றுக்கு உணவில்லாத போது செவிக்கு உணவில்லாத போது சிறிது வயிற்றுக்கும் இயப்படும். When there is no enough food for hearing, we put a little bit of food for the stomach also. So the priority in our tradition is more for shravanam, for listening and learning. The second priority is for eating. It's just information. Don't worry about it. Every value and every information has exceptions. If it is the only time you can eat and you have no problem eating, why nobody should see you? We can see you. Only that seeing you, others should not start eating. That's all. Okay. Enough eating topic. The rest of us, somebody can help me how to invite this Silvio.
Silvio needs to download Google Hangouts.
Okay, done. Then that is his problem.
I think so.
Pending invite. I have already sent the invite. It says pending invite, so I think it is invited.
Yes.
Anyway, he has YouTube to watch this. Yes, questions. We have not discussed for a very long time. How is your practice going on? Is there any practical difficulties? I will ask like this. If there are practical difficulties you face in your commitment to the teaching, in your commitment to your personal practices and other things, if you tell this, I can come up with solutions.
I cannot keep my discipline in the morning and in the evening. Not all the days.
Okay, let us ask in a different way. What happens? What do you do? What you wanted to do, and what do you actually do?
Okay, I would like to do in the morning and in the evening japa mantra, but not all the days I can do it. I cannot keep this discipline.
So if you are not doing the japa, you are going to be doing something else. What are you doing usually?
In the morning, usually I will wake up too late to do it. So,
so what time do you go to sleep?
Ask again. I didn't hear.
What time do you go to sleep?
Around 11. 11.
Okay. You sleep immediately or you take more time to sleep?
Generally, immediately. No problem with the sleep.
So what time you wanted to wake up?
At 6.
11 to 6 should be possible. What time you end up waking up?
7:30.
You wake up and sleep again, or the first time opening the eyes itself is 7:30?
I wake up and sleep again.
So next time you wake up and just walk to the shower and stand under the shower till you wake up.
Yeah. Okay.
Not warm shower because you are old. Warm shower.
Okay.
Or what you do, the moment you wake up, instead of sleeping again or turning around, what you do, start moving your body. Like, first you move your toes like this, then move your ankles, then move your knees, hold your legs, one leg after the other like Pavana Muktasana, right?
Yes.
Move your hands, wrist, your elbows, your shoulders, move your head from side to side, take a deep breath, turn to one side and get up. And start breathing consciously. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or inhale and exhale with the mantra. Start doing this in the bed. This is going to take 1 minute. In 1 minute, you will be awake. As you start moving the body from toe to the head, that itself will wake you up in a different way. Right? After that, you sit and do some breathing. You will wake up a little more. Then stand up and do like forward bend, just bend forward and touch the ground. Then stretch your arms up and give a nice stretch and arch back. Like Surya Namaskar, 2 postures, the first 2 postures.
Yes, I know.
Just do that repeatedly. 5 times or 10 times you do that. Very slowly you do that. You will wake up.
Okay.
You can go and drink a glass of water. Then you wash your face and mouth and hands and feet. And then you will be fully awake for japa. If that is not enough, go and take a shower.
Okay, thank you.
What happens in the evening?
In the evening, it could happen to have some people around here, and I cannot
Let them
do my japa.
Say, this is my japa time, and go.
Okay.
You have lived for people all this life. Last years of life, nobody should come and take your Sandhya time. Sunset, around sunset, like half an hour before sunset, up to 1.5 hours, 90 minutes after sunset, decide your half an hour japa, and nobody comes in that.
Okay.
Based on that, evening you decide, like 5 o'clock, start thinking, like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, start thinking, what time should I do my japa? What time can I do my japa? And then you tell them, and this is my time and I need to be alone. That's what. Go and lock yourself up. Let them think what they want. It's not your problem.
Yes, thank you.
In 1 month, people will get used to this. Luminitsa is going to do something, whatever. They will tease you, but they will understand this is your time. They will not disturb.
Yeah, correct.
No. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Bogdan. Adrian has been absconding. We have this. I heard that a lot of people are not very happy with me. You have some questions and doubts regarding my commitment to myself, to the knowledge, to the teaching. So, if you have some thoughts going on, you can come and ask me. You don't have to keep rolling it in your head and keep guessing it in your own style and wondering whether to ask me or not. You all know how frank I am and how open I am. You can just come and ask me straight in my face and I will tell you. If it is something that you suspect, you ask me, is it like this? And if it is like that, I'm going to say yes, because if anybody I have accepted as disciple, I keep everything transparent. You will know everything. And you have the right to know everything about me. Personal, there is nothing called professional. Everything is personal. So I am not running a job. I am not doing a profession here. Okay? A guru-disciple relationship is a personal relationship. And you have the right to know every aspect of my personal life. If that is going to bother you. I can tell you whether it is true or not and whether you need to be bothered about it or not from a purely technical point of view. Then it is up to you. But at least you have the right and you have the ability and you have the freedom and the opportunity to clarify your information with me. Not communicating is not a solution. You can ask in public also, I have no problem. Right here you can ask. Adrian, Mr. Absconding.
No, I'm fine. Well, of course, my practice is not going well. My hopes are connected with starting the yoga classes. We still hope to be able to do that in Daniela's ashram.
Ada is ready, no?
Yeah.
Some Dan or somebody, who's that guy?
Yeah, well, I haven't tried. and I don't know if he's still available. Probably not. So we're waiting on Ada to come out. Actually, to be able to
December
arrange.
end, Chudamani is also there in Bucharest. So some puja satsang can go on.
Yep.
I was planning to start mid-September because now I'm not in Bucharest. I'm in Cumpulung at my mother's house.
Okay.
Okay.
So mid-September I will give an email to everybody.
You have good internet in Campulung, huh?
Yes.
In India, in villages, you forget you don't have good internet.
What?
No. In India, in villages, you have only slow internet.
I have very good internet. Yeah.
And Kampulung is a town.
Okay, I went there. It was a little difficult to see a town there, so it's okay. Okay. Alex Pignano. Sorry, Ada, you were telling something, no? You were going to start the classes in mid-September.
In September, I will give an email to everybody. I also wish to start the classes. I really need them. So
Yes.
I will speak with Daniela to see if she can give us the place. Christina told us that she said yes, but I need to reconfirm with her. If not,
Yes,
we
yes.
can
You
find
have to
another
start
place.
asking her and planning right from now.
Yeah.
Yes, Alex, I'm coming to you. Wait.
I have the feeling that it's already happening, so.
Okay. That can be a good beginning. But see, the problem is this. When we are dependent on a class schedule, that shows we have not taken our commitment seriously. There must not be a necessity for a class. At least not for you guys. Come on. You are not beginners. So don't give me this beginner attitude. Okay? I need a my moksha. Nobody is going to keep a class for reminding you about yourself at the time of your death. And death is always around the corner. You can die any moment. You cannot die here. What do you mean?
I am eternal. What do you say?
Yes, it is. Your eternal means you can leave the body. At the time of leaving the body, you need to remember. Right? And also, or at least before the death comes, you should realize that you are eternal. And you should live your eternity in every moment. Which means I don't pursue anything that is time bound. My vairagya will be perfect. Then you cannot. Then you have nothing to practice. You are free, Jivan Mukta. If you are Jivan Mukta, I am very happy. Because I cannot contest. I cannot say whether you are a Jivan Mukta or not. I cannot certify.
Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Not who knows. You must know. I mean, nobody else can know, but at least you should know whether you are liberated or not. Because it's a liberation is an experience. While knowledge, self-knowledge, Brahman is a knowledge. Liberation is an experience. You experience absence of bondage. You don't experience experience of bondage is liberation.
I've recently read a book about a girl who had a near-death experience, and there are some thoughts that she had that I am now thinking about, like the fact that time is not like we perceive it, like circular. We die and then we reincarnate, and then we die again and we reincarnate. Time is only now. Like everything that we have is now, the present and the future. It happens also in relation with the time that we are living at this present moment.
Yeah, it's only an appearance. Cycle of life is only an appearance. It's not true.
Yeah, there is no cycle of life, no?
Yes,
It's only now.
Mandukya Upanishad. Na kachit jayate jivaha sambhavo asya na vidyate. There is no jiva who was ever born. Something like creation never happened. This is the highest truth, where nothing was ever created or anything was ever born. Mandukya Upanishad. Karika, Gaudapada Karika.
I am contemplating on this idea.
You cannot contemplate on this idea. You can contemplate on this idea to become and make it as an inspiration. You have to understand what it means. That's all. Just understand it.
Before I didn't. I thought the time that there is a cycle of life that I die.
You can get this experience. If you want this experience, you can have some LSD and you will get this experience. But that is not going to liberate you. Anyway. Yeah, so what I want to say is, at least when you have some spare time, think what is not allowing you to be committed to your anushthanam. Why I need external support? Why can't I do it myself? Something minimum I should be able to do it myself. At least the remembrance during the activities of the day, the remembrance, at least is it there, Adrian?
Yes.
Good.
In the morning, lunchtime, evening, I remember that I didn't do anything about my...
Not that. You remember what you are,
Yes,
remember
remember
the mantra, remember the deity, something.
Yes. The thought is there permanent, but because there is no support, let's say, network to help me in practice and doing the rest of activities, then the outside, let's say, part is being lost.
That is why we have an altar in the house. Why I keep insisting on the altar is this. Taking care of the altar gives me the context for me to sit.
Yes, that is true. That's the only thing that is still there, but the rest is...
So as the class starts, you will have more time, and
yes.
If the minimum is maintained, it's fine. And try to take time off in the weekends, and slowly the karma will give you space to, life will organize itself to give you space for more practice. Don't worry. If you are maintaining the minimum, it's fine, and the thought is there in the background, it's fine. Find at 15 minutes or 20 minutes to sit quietly doing nothing, just the mantra or just contemplation. Sometime in the day, between stuff, if you can find a break, at your convenience, at least get that 15-20 minutes to simply sit doing nothing. I think that should be possible.
Yeah.
That should be possible. Okay. Alex Piniano, Chef Achis. Just general, how are you? Alex is not here. I think there is a dark window here. I don't know who's there. Alex, yes. He's like Voldemort, not visible.
He replied on the right part.
I am very happy to be here. So when can you come to India? Okay. So kindly keep in touch. Maybe you need to take the business out of Romania somewhere. Okay. This is not a business place, so. But if you can take off anyway, you're not. If it is not, if you can take off, I don't know, with the help of parents or whatever, and come to India for 3-4 months. Come here, stay in Rishikesh, do some contemplation, listen to some Vedanta, and go back. Plan for that. You just find your flight ticket. I'll take care of you. Okay. Yes, but this is, I'm telling for a different reason. You catch up with me sometime in some chat, some Google, Facebook, whatever. Catch up with me sometime. Yeah, please. Logan? Anybody else? Any questions? Practical
Yogeshvar,
questions? Technical questions?
Adya is there with you.
Irina is right now is in, Shivani is right now in Rishikesh with Anna Jinaru. She's starting tomorrow and coming tomorrow night. She is with Acharya, Davida Acharya.
Your hair looks different.
Splendid.
Huh?
Very nice.
Good. Thank you. Har Har Namah Parvati Pataye. Har Har Mahadev. Stop broadcast.